Hello everyone, welcome back to the interview question 12 in the cloud architecture interview question and answer series. Okay, so this is question number 12. Again, this is a question I was asked in an interview and I have changed the nature of the wording, but this is a very standard question that any cloud architect or aspiring cloud architect or even a cloud engineer or anybody who has been working with infrastructure as code, you might get this question because it's a very standard question. I also asked this question and it's a very recent topic which has gained a lot of steam in the last maybe 6 months to 1 year to 1.5 years. So you have just joined as the lead architect for the CCOE Cloud Center of Excellence of a multinational company with around 10,000 plus developers across different regions. All the infrastructure has been deployed into the cloud using Terraform. But recently there has been quite a few security incidents, mostly due to bad quality of Terraform code that has been written by the engineers. There has not been enough unit testing and most of these issues have been identified during pen testing, delaying the production deployment. Your CTO wants you to work on this topic and figure out a way to fix this. What do you do? Okay, so see, basically at the crux of the question is you are writing Terraform code. Okay, so you have a lot of developers, right? Say around 200 to 2000 developers, and all of them are writing Terraform code across regions, across projects, and so everybody in your organization uses Terraform to deploy infrastructure into the cloud. It can be AWS cloud, it can be Azure cloud, it can be GCP, Alibaba, whatever. So whenever you are using Terraform to deploy the code into the cloud, the infrastructure into the cloud, what is happening is that you guys are not following, say for example, your developers are not following the best practices and not writing secure Terraform code. For example, maybe they are writing a code which is making an S3 object without encryption, or they are creating, say for example, a security group which allows 0.0.0.0 the entire internet to access it. So something like that they have written in their code and they have deployed. Okay, so in a lot of Terraform code by peer review, all of this got kind of, you can say, skipped. So nobody could identify the issues. The actual infrastructure got deployed into production, or say to some environment, maybe QA test or whatever. Once it is there, for some projects it is directly deployed to production. For some projects there is a pen testing. During penetration testing, some of these issues are being discovered. Say for example, during penetration testing, maybe for example you had kept a security group with 0.0.0.0 open, meaning allowed access from the entire internet. So what is happening is that say for example the pen test team by Rapid7, maybe Rapid7 is being used to do the pen testing, and in the pen testing they have identified this and flagged this. Now you have to change it. So you again need to go to your source code, do a git commit check, you need to see everything is working, regression test everything. It's a long cycle and your CTO is worried, obviously your security people are worried, everybody is worried in a sense that how do I control this, because there are so many developers, so many code check-ins every day. It's very difficult to control this manually. So what do you do? So here basically what the what the interviewer wants to understand is that have you handled this kind of topics which is mostly related to shift left security. Okay, so what is shift left security? So traditionally in enterprises what used to happen, the security comes at the end of the life cycle. So if you see a software development life cycle, there is design, build, implementation and deployment. So either before deployment or maybe sometimes even after deployment there is a security review. Okay, so they mostly check your security artifacts. Sometimes via automation they will check your SAD system design diagram, your infrastructure design diagram, all change requests needs to be approved by a security team and whatever. Mostly sometimes it is automated, but mostly it is still manual, and it happens at the end, so which is already too late, right? So your developer has written the code, it is going at the end, and there you are capturing it, and sometimes you are not even capturing it also. Okay, in a way. So with infrastructure as code, actually you should treat infrastructure as code just as any other software code in your organization. Okay, that is the idea. And what you should do is that you should test your code in a sense. So here what basically, since you are using Terraform, there are quite a few good open source projects and also some commercial offerings also. So for these open source projects, what you can do actually is that, so you have a Terraform code, say you have Visual Studio Code written, so you are using Visual Studio Code IDE to write Terraform code, or any IDE to write Terraform code. So now what you need a static analysis of your Terraform code. So what is static analysis? You need a software that will check your code and compare with some standard configurations. So say for example an S3 bucket. So you have written an S3 bucket where you have not enabled encryption, but the best practice is to enable encryption. So everybody knows what the code looks like if it would have followed the best practice. Okay, so they will compare, this tool will compare your code with the best practice code, and as soon as it will see that you have not enabled the encryption, it will flag it as an error. And this it will do right in your IDE, or sometimes even before you can commit. Say for example you are trying to commit, at that time you can keep a pre-commit hook. So whenever you are trying to commit your code to your source control, even in your local branch, so I have written that incorrect code, I am doing git add dot and then I am doing git commit -m. This is my code. The moment I am doing this in the backend, even before the commit happens, Git will run my static analysis tool. Now this static analysis tool can be Checkov, for example. Okay, and there are some other tools like Terrascan, Terracompliance, and there are Terratest. Many tools are there. I'm not going into these tools, I'm going into overall idea. Okay, and that moment it will flag this error. It will flag that error, that okay, this is the error, so that you can fix at that moment only. So you don't need to wait till the end and figure it out. And all of these things that you could have missed, maybe you will get it. Basically you will get all of those as a alert or as an issue right when you are doing your code. So you can run it at many spaces. You can run this test during your commit, maybe after your commit, during the pull request when you are merging into the master branch, maybe before deployment, even after deployment, whatever. So there are many places where you can run this state, and the tests are very fast. These are called static analysis tests. They are very fast and they are very quickly responsive. Okay, so you will get a result very quickly. So this is the idea of shift left security, and this is what you need to put in place in your organization, very frankly, so that whenever the developers are coding, just like for example if you write JavaScript code, there is a project called JSLint. Okay, for .NET code there is a project called FXCOP. So you can integrate that project into your project, basically integrate the tool kind of. It's like a linting tool, static analysis SAST tool. And what it does, it checks your code and very quickly figures out which are bad things. Okay, for example, you have kept something open or something. So it will find those stuff out and it will tell you about it. Okay, so here if I go to this blog article that I have mentioned here, okay, so let me try to open this blog article. Yeah, okay, so if you see this blog article, this is a very detailed blog article by somebody called Christophe D. Ripper, and he has mentioned everything. So if you see, I will give you something. See, this code is an incorrect code. Why? Because see, you can see CIDR block has been opened from 0.0.0.0.0. So see, I'm not saying this is always incorrect. There might be some cases where you might keep this also, very unlikely, but these are potentially vulnerable code, potentially. Okay, then for example this one where you have put the ACL as public, right? Okay, so this is something. Now what it is saying is that there are many Terraform static analysis tools, and it has done a kind of, you can see, say for example, what are the tools? Checkov is one tool, Regula, Terraform Compliance, Terrascan, TFSec, SameGrep, all of these tools, and he has done a very nice kind of like a comparison on which tool you should use, and the idea is that these tools should be fast and give you good feedback. Okay, but some tools will run on the HCL, meaning the static code, some will run on the Terraform plan. So there is a little bit, if you go, this topic in itself is a very big topic, right? Okay, also you can add custom checks. So this is also very important, that see who will give me these rules. Okay, night, what is correct, what is incorrect. So normally what happens, there is somebody called CIS benchmarks, like Center for Information Security benchmarks. They normally publish a lot of rules, and there are many good best practices. Everybody knows the best practices. Every single cloud provider publishes their best practices. So the problem is not having those best practices. The problem is basically mapping them into a rule. So these companies are doing that for you. Say for example, Chekhov has around 50 to 100 rules that is already encoded. You don't need to do anything. You just write Chekhov scan and it will scan your code against all those rules. So you already get a base set of rules. Mostly these rules are based on best practices, CIS benchmarks, and you just run your code very easily using Chekhov. Okay, but there is another good thing. Say for example, I need a custom rule for my organization. So there are many tools. For example, Chekhov, they will support that also. So for example, here you can see in this Chekhov, this one, it is basically creating a custom rule to ensure that the S3 bucket is encrypted at rest. So this rule, it is a custom rule that it is written. So if the server side encryption configuration is on, then it is failed. Is not on, then it is failed. If it is on, then it is passed. Something like that. So you can see the different rules have different stuff written in different ways. But the idea is, the first place to get started is with the inbuilt rules. So first ensure that your code is okay as vis-a-vis the inbuilt rules. The moment they are okay with the inbuilt rules, then you can recreate custom rules which are based on your enterprise, based on your project. So this is also possible. Now coming to a Terraform static analysis workflow. So normally what happens, see, we have a fairly standard and basic infrastructure as code deployment. This is something that even I used to follow and I still follow. So see, engineers use Git and commit their work locally. Then they push it to a branch in a centralized VCS, such as say for example GitHub or Bitbucket. Then a pipeline will deploy the infrastructure which is described in their branch into a dev environment, such as a test AWS account, using Jenkins or maybe GitLab, whatever. Then when the engineer is satisfied with these changes, they will merge their code into the main branch using a pull request. Then to deploy in production, the pipeline will deploy the infrastructure which is described in the main branch to the production environment. Very standard stuff. Now the idea is, where will my checking go in? So first my checking will go in this pre-commit hook. So the moment I do a git commit, it will check for this one. Then even in push, when I am doing a git push, it will also can check. In my CI also it can check during my CI, and before my deploy also it can check. So it can check at many places. So as you can see, where can we integrate into this pipeline? Everywhere is based on you. So this kind of pre-commit push, pre-push, you want static analysis which are very quick. Okay, and then here you can scan the actual Terraform plan also. Okay, now here if you see for example a small video, a very 1 minute 2 minute video which shows also this very same stuff. So if you see this video, you can see this is the same from the same blog post. So very good. Yeah, so see, you can see this is a, so let me just show you this part. You can see, so this was the Terraform code, main.tf, everything is okay. So they have run tfsec. This is one of the tools just like Chekhov, and it did no problems detected. So this is the static analysis tool. If there was a problem here, it would have shown you. Okay, so this is what a static analysis tool is done. Now this is running via the CLI, but you can also integrate it into your CI pipeline, your pre-commit hook or whatever, and it is already done here. So now what he is doing, he is going to change the code, this CID to 0.0.0.0, meaning he will make it kind of like an incorrect code. This is an incorrect code, meaning a dangerous code. You might have a reason to do it, but it's a dangerous code. Now he is trying to push it. You can see git add dot. Now git commit. The moment he is doing a git commit, there is a pre-commit hook which will prevent him. See, it is giving you the error. One potential problem detected, so it will not allow you to commit. So this is what I was talking about. This is one of them. Okay, so you can read all of this. So this is very good stuff. And also another small thing that, yeah, so sometimes what will happen, see, these static analysis tools are good, but they cannot understand your intention, right? So say for example, you have a very specific business reason to keep your bucket publicly available. Say for example, the content in that bucket is relatively low risk, maybe static assets. But what will happen, the moment your tool will run, it will always flag it as an error, which is bad. So you can actually suppress errors. So here you can see it is skipping this error for this bucket. So even when Chekhov will run and it will find this, because it will find this annotation, it will skip this one. It will not show it in the list. It will be a suppress check. This is very important also. Sometimes you will need to have suppressions, but always try to limit them and regularly check your suppressions. But at some point of level, you might need you might need to suppress a few checks. But anyway, see, again, coming very quickly back to the question that we were discussing, and the idea here is that you need to shift left your scanning, and you need to scan your Terraform code. You need to treat your infrastructure as code just like any other code. So if for your other code you have linting, you have unit tests, you have stuff like that, your Terraform code should also have that. That is the only way to ensure that your Terraform code does not end up being bad code pushed to production. There is no other way. You need to understand one thing: treat your Terraform code just as software development code. Treat your infrastructure as code project just as a normal software development project, where the source is also put in, the code is also put into a source control. People are making changes in their own machines, they are pushing, then they are raising PRs, the PRs are getting approved, and the entire life cycle needs to follow just like a normal software development. Just because this is related to infrastructure, don't treat it as something separate or something alien. Okay, so the moment you put these tools into circulation inside your development workflow, and you shift your security left, and you give your developers quick feedback, your code quality will automatically improve. And so you will not have to wait for a pen test to get these issues, because 99% of the issues you are identifying directly via these tools, and you can add custom checks also based on your requirements. So this is something that I was asked, as I told you, and I have been able to answer it completely correctly, and this led on to a more discussion. So you might get follow-ups questions on this, like, okay, can you tell me what tool did you use for your application, how did you integrate it into a CI pipeline? So I used Checkov at that time, and I told them how I integrated Checkov into this pipeline. And there are some other tools, what is the support project. So for example, Checkov is actually the open source module or open source part of the tool, whereas Bridgecrew is the commercial. So Bridgecrew offers a UI and some more benefits also. So I told them that if you need support, you go with a commercial vendor. So there are many commercial vendors. Say for example, you have Prisma Cloud by Palo Alto, you have Bridgecrew, you have Sneak, okay, and many things. Basically there are many. I think Trend Micro might have something like this also. So this is a very big topic nowadays, right? And another add-on also question that comes, and I might tackle that in a separate question, is that just like Terraform code, you can also scan your Kubernetes manifests also in a similar way. So more on this maybe in another question, but just so this question might give rise to some other questions. So read about this topic, learn this, do a little bit, download Checkov, these are all open source, run your Terraform code on that, and then try to answer as much as you can. Thank you guys, thank you for your time, hope this helps, and please share, like and subscribe, and in case you have any questions, please comment. Thank you.